तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमामि विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So yesterday we discussed from first chapter and verse number 24. So, in this verse, Sanjaya is speaking this verse. Evam ukto ऋषिकेशो गुडाकेशेन भारत सेनयोरुभयोर मध्ये स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम्. So when Arjuna, he requested Arjuna, Krishna, to put my chariot in between the two armies. So after hearing the words or instructions or request of Arjuna, Lord Krishna, he placed the Rathottamam, the best of the chariot, Ratha Uttamam. He placed the best of the chariot in between the two armies. Senyor Ubhayor Madhe, in between the two senas, two armies. Sthapitva, that he placed, and Rathottamam. So we discussed yesterday the meaning of Rathottamam. Rathottamam means the best of the chariot. It is Rathottamam, said Sanjay is saying it is Rathottamam because Krishna is present on this earth, Rath. That's why it's Uttam, divine. And secondly, because this Rath was gifted by Agni Dev, fire god. That's why it has celestial qualities. That's why it is Rathottamam. Another significant point we discussed. In this verse, Sanjaya, she is addressing Krishna as Rishikesh and Arjuna as Gunakesh. The name of Gunakesh. Arjuna is Gunakesh. So Gunakesh we discussed yesterday. That Gunakesh means Gunaka plus Ish. Gunaka means sleep or ignorance or darkness, and Ish means controller. So conquered, one who has conquered his sleep, ignorance or darkness. That is why his Arjuna's name is Gunakesh. And Rishikesh, all of you already know. Rishikesh, Lord Krishna's name is Rishikesh. That means he is master of the senses, director of the senses. So Sanjaya wants to impress upon the trust that Arjuna, he has requested Krishna to put his chariot in between the two armies. That means Arjuna has demanded help from Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna, being Rishikesh, controller or master or director of the senses, she is going to definitely help in all ways to Arjuna in order to become victorious, because Krishna can control the senses. He can properly direct the senses. So that's why Rishikesh. So Gunakesh we discussed yesterday. Uh, Means ignorance. So Arjuna, because of his constant companion with the Supreme Lord Krishna, she attained this wonderful quality of being Gunakesh. Means controller of. He conquered over his sleep. So literal meaning is also there. He conquered his sleep when he was practicing in Gurukul. He was studying in Gurukul. So daytime, the Dronacharya, he would give lessons on different this martial arts, this military arts, and night time Arjuna, instead of sleeping, he used to master all the theories, whatever he learned from his teacher. Just imagine if you can also become Gunakes, it will be so nice, no? Daytime you go to the school or college, you study, and nighttime when all the students are sleeping. Actually, no, nowadays the students they don't sleep in the night time. They sleep on Brahmut time, and during night time they do all kinds of nonsense thing. So if some student can get this quality guna case, if somebody can conquer over sleep, so in the entire night time he can nicely practice and become master. Uh, Haridas Thakur also has had this quality. Uh, Daytime Haridas Thakur used to take out his time and preach, and night time he used to sit and chant. Daytime also he used to chant. So he was chanting 192 rounds. How is it possible? For Haridas Thakur because he would hardly sleep. He would hardly sleep for 1 or 2 hours, and that is also not every day. That's why he could manage his chanting. Otherwise, how is it possible? Because he was preaching also, and he was associating with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to visit Haridas Thakur every day. Every day, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used after taking darshan of Lord Jagannath, he used to go to Haridas Thakur with a plate of Mahaprasad, Jagannath Mahaprasad, and used to give him. And they used to have wonderful discussion, conversation about pastimes of Lord Krishna, especially about glories of holy name. Uh, and we have started a wonderful course also, Sri Harinam Chintamani, every day morning 9 o'clock. So we are discussing those conversations with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur had with each other about the glories of holy name. Means glories of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So so in daytime, Lord Chaitanya used to come and they used to have nice Krishna Katha. And Haridas Thakur used to go out for also for some time for preaching. He used to preach also, and there were many great devotees. He used to associate with them also. And apart from this, he used to manage his chanting. 192 rounds he was chanting. So that means in night also he was chanting. And we get this information when this Ramchandra Khan, out of envy, he sent a prostitute to Haridas Thakur in order to make him fall down. So Haridas Thakur at that time he was in the night he was chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So when the prostitute came and she expressed her desire to have union with him. So Haridas Thakur said, "Okay, okay, you sit down. As soon as I finish my rounds are remaining. I have taken a vow." He said, "I have taken some vows to finish my certain number of chanting rounds. So if my chanting is finished, then I will fulfill your desire." So that prostitute, she sat in front of Haridas Thakur and just she kept hearing. Haridas Thakur entire night he was just chanting, chanting, chanting. And the morning time came, there was sunrise. So the prostitute became frustrated. She went back and she said, "Okay, today evening I will come. Please make sure to fulfill my desire." Again, when she came, so she found Haridas Thakur again chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the night. In the midnight, he was chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Again, Haridas Thakur said, "Oh, sorry. Today also I could not finish my Hare Krishna Mahamantra of chanting because daytime I was busy here and there preaching and meeting with devotees. You please sit down. As soon as I complete my rounds, I will fulfill your desire." So she again sat down, and like this, three days, three continuous nights it happened. And at the end of third night, she got purified. She became a great devotee. She realized her mistake, uh, and she simply offered her respect, and she started crying and asking for forgiveness from Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur said, "I know, I already understood that with what intention you have come, and actually you are not at fault. I also know who has sent you. So don't worry. You can uh, purify yourself by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamudra." In this way, Haridas Thakur initiated her, and she became the disciple of Haridas Thakur. And afterwards, then she gave up all her nasty business. She stopped all kind of sinful activities, and she also became a great devotee. Her name is Chintamani. Her name is Chintamani, and she became great devotee. She also started chanting 192 rounds. Just imagine a prostitute who was engaged in such an abominable sinful activity, the greatest kind of sinful activity one can perform is illicit sex, which is very common nowadays, especially in colleges. Especially in big cities, Mumbai's practically every young boy, young girl, they have boyfriend and girlfriend. You go to any college, senior college, even from junior college also they start making girlfriend boyfriend business. And temple we see so many young boys and girls they come with their couples. It's very difficult to preach to them, very difficult to make them understand. So this age is so degraded. That's why only a person who gets connected to proper devotional service and who has nice background, he can properly execute the purpose of life. Otherwise, once one gets involved in all kinds of these nasty things, his life is completely spoiled. Not only his spiritual life, even material life is doomed completely. Spiritual life is finished because as soon as one enters into sinful life, he cannot expect to advance in Krishna consciousness. That becomes very, very difficult. That's why. So these things to avoid these four regulatory principles. In order to follow, one should follow four regulatory principles. One should not meat eat. There should be no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex. And illicit sex involves making boyfriend and girlfriend also. That also comes into the category of illicit sex. Illicit sex means any relationship with opposite sex outside the marriage. So if somebody is not married, he should practice brahmacharya, perfect brahmacharya. This brahmacharya is not just meant for devotees of ISKCON or a person who is practicing a spiritual life. No, this is meant for everyone. Uh, Even if somebody wants to advance in material life, also somebody wants to make his or her career good career in future in material life also, they should also be following these principles. Otherwise, why these degrees are made, BA and BTech, BE, BCom? What is this? BTech means Bachelor of Technology. Everywhere is Bachelor of Technology, Bachelor of Engineering, Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Arts. Why Bachelor? Because they know even to advance in material career, material education also, one needs to follow this bachelor means brahmacharya. One should not come in contact, unnecessary in contact with opposite sex and spoil his or her life. So that business is going on, but unfortunately this is the greatest misfortune of today's society, that nobody cares about this. Nobody is least bothered about this, whether teachers or whether parents or what to speak of the government leaders. Nobody is at all concerned for this. We see in colleges there is free mixing, and teachers they don't object. They are also having free mixing with opposite sex. So how can they restrict? During this, I heard during this Garba time or Garba means Garbad. So Navratri times, teachers they encourage the students to bring their couples, bring their partners to have dandiya. And they told that every one of you should have your girlfriend and boyfriend. Just see, they are teachers. They are supposed to teach moral values, moral things, and they are teachers. They are teaching in Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Engineering. The degree they are giving is Bachelor in Science, Bachelor in Mathematics, and Bachelor in so many things. But they don't follow these things. They are openly encouraging, especially in cities like Mumbai, such a means unfortunate situation for students. And then when something happens and these boys and young boys and girls, they become polluted, and they become corrupt, they perform some kind of sinful activity, nasty activity, then they blame to them. But actually, who should be blamed? It is teachers and it is parents. They should be blamed. And government, politician, leaders, they should be blamed, not the students. Because what can they do? They are just like they are young boys and girls. Natural attachment attraction is there until unless they are taught, until unless there are principles to regulate their life is not imposed or not taught to them. How can they follow? So that's why it's a very dangerous situation. Uh, But anyway, we were discussing about this point, Gudakesh. So if somebody can develop this quality, if somebody can conquer sleep, so he can advance very nicely in material life also and spiritual life also, just like Haridas Thakur. I was discussing about Haridas Thakur. So finally, Haridas Thakur initiated that prostitute, and she also became a great devotee, and she also started chanting 192 rounds every day. Just imagine. So that is the power of a pure devotee spiritual master. A pure devotee, he can, if somebody becomes very sincere, of course, that prostitute after three nights, she repented a lot, and then she fully surrendered to Haridas Thakur, and she agreed. She told, whatever you will say, I will follow. So immediately Haridas Thakur said that you shave your head, and then you go back to your home, and whatever money you have earned by this sinful activity, you distribute all the money to Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. That will be the only best means of purifying your money, because you have earned the money by performing sinful activity. So until unless this is purified, you cannot advance in spiritual life. So because Brahmanas and Vaishnava, they use everything in the service of Krishna. So you distribute this money to them, they will use it for service of Krishna. In this way, your money will get purified, and you come back to this cave. Ajasakru was living in a cave near a river, and in front of the cave, he planted a tulsi plant, tulsi Maharani. So see, he told Haridas Thakur that I am leaving this place. I am going to some other village. So you occupy this place. You live in this cave, and in front of Tulsi Maharani, every day you chant 192 rounds without fail, and you don't go anywhere. Krishna will provide everything to you. Haridas Thakur gave her this assurance. And her quality, her qualification was that she agreed, and she had full faith on Haridas Thakur. So she, having keeping all full faith in Haridas Thakur, she did all these things, and she shaved her head, and then distributed all the money earned by sinful activity, and then she came to that cave in front of Tulsi Marani. Daily she was chanting 192 rounds. So what happened after some period of time? The news spread all over the village and even outside the village, because she was the most prominent prostitute of that entire area. She was very beautiful and most prominent. And Ramchandra Khan, the envious person who was having envy towards Haridas Thakur's reputation, so he arranged that prostitute to come and pollute him, but she could not do so. So the news is spread that the greatest prostitute, Chintamani, she has become now a pure devotee of Krishna. She is chanting 192 rounds every day, and Haridas Thakur has transformed her heart. Huh? So instead of this Haridas Thakur's reputation going down, rather his reputation increased a lot. So in this, the Ramchandra Khan, he couldn't tolerate. So when he heard this news, he immediately came to that prostitute. So that prostitute flatly refused to cooperate with him anymore. And then she said, "You are the greatest rascal. You are the greatest offender. You will be destroyed by the offense you have committed against a pure devotee, Haridas Thakur." She frankly said this. And that person, he became very angry. He wanted to beat her. But as soon as she tried, he immediately got fainted. And after that, after some time, that Ramchandra Khan, who tried to destroy the reputation of Haridas Thakur, after some times, he was attacked by Muslim soldiers, and all the soldiers, Muslim soldiers, they looted all his wealth, everything, even his house, and he became beggar on the street, and after some time he died out of this frustration. So that is the result of offending a Vaishnava. So anyway, but the main point is, if one can conquer over sleep. So how Haridas Thakur could conquer over sleep, and not just sleep, Haridas Thakur also conquered over this ignorance. In ignorance only, or darkness, in ignorance, lack of knowledge, one gets involved into all kinds of sinful activity. The impetus or the force comes from within to perform sinful activity because of mode of ignorance and passion. These two modes uh, trigger our lusty desires or our sinful propensities within the heart. And in this way, the living entity gets more and more entangled into this darkness or ignorance, and finally, he loses everything. He loses all his good qualities, he loses all his wealth, energy, reputation, and his vision, his knowledge. He becomes completely blind, and then he is completely entangled in this material existence. Lord Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, that will come in 16th chapter, Kama, Krodha, Tatha, Lobhas. These three things, if one cannot control these three things, Kam means lusty desire, Krodha means anger, and Lobha means greed. If one cannot control these three things, then his life is completely doomed. He is going to live in hellish condition of life permanently. These three things are gateway or royal road towards hell: lust, anger, and greed. Kam, Lobha, Kam, Krodha, and Lobha. That's why it's very important. Anyone who wants to progress in his life, who wants to make his life happy life, satisfied life, even materially also, if one wants to live a nice material life also, is still for that person also it is required that he controls these three things: Kam, Krodha, and Lobha. And what to speak of a spiritual life? One cannot even enter into spiritual life if he breaks these principles. If he is too much harassed by it, if he is too much entangled in this Kam, Krodha, and Lobha. So one has to overcome these things. But this age is so fallen, this age is so degraded, that everywhere these three things are encouraged. That's all. Lust and greed. And if one cannot fulfill the lust and greed, then automatically growth, anger is there. So you go to market, you go to offices, you go to business circle, you go to colleges, schools, anywhere you go, these three things are encouraged. So it's very difficult. That it's very difficult to save or protect oneself from these things. But if somebody can take shelter of Krishna, and somebody can properly get associated with devotees and hear from them the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, then it is possible also, because we know, we see there are many devotees, although they are living in this same place, same material world, same Mumbai place, so degraded place, but still we are able to follow only because of the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So by Krishna's mercy, it is possible. Just like here in this verse, Arjuna is Gudakesh. So why Arjuna is Gudakesh? Because Arjuna always associated with Krishna. This is the qualification. If anybody, how much degraded he may be, doesn't matter. The most degraded person, most fallen person also can save himself, can uplift his consciousness. He can also become controller of his mind and senses. He can also conquer over his sleep, darkness, and ignorance if he gets associated with Krishna. If we can associate with Krishna, if we can bring Krishna in our life all the time, then it is very much possible. So Arjuna, because he was a constant companion of Krishna, or Krishna was always present with Arjuna. That's why Arjuna is Gudakesh. Arjuna could control his senses and mind. Arjuna, although, and this is very difficult, especially for a Kshatriya. Kshatriyas are supposed to be in mode of passion. Mode of passion means it's very difficult for them to control their desires. They have desire for attaining name and fame. They have desire for increasing their kingdom, and they have desire, lusty desires also. That's why earlier the Kshatriya Kshatriyas, especially kings, they used to marry more than one wife, and they used to have their kingdom, so vast kingdom, and they used to have so many people to glorify them always. So this is a general tendency for a Kshatriya. But Arjuna was not an ordinary Kshatriya. Although he was performing his duty as a Kshatriya, but actually he was better than a Brahmana. He was Brahmana, of course. He was Arjuna. One should not think that Arjuna, because he was fighting in the battlefield, so he is a Kshatriya. No, Arjuna was a Brahmana because he had knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, perfect knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and he was fighting in this battlefield of Kurukshetra not for his personal sense gratification like other Kshatriyas. Other Kshatriyas, they also fight just to increase their kingdom, and just for their sense gratification, they fight. So if they follow the principles of dharma, then they fight, and then in this way they don't incur sinful activity, although they do it for their sense gratification. But Arjuna was not even in that category. Arjuna was fighting only for the service of Krishna. That's why Arjuna is not a Kshatriya, but he was acting like a Kshatriya in order to fulfill, in order to satisfy Krishna. That's why Arjuna was better than a Brahmana. Arjuna was a Vaishnava, a Paramhamsa, and completely liberated personality. That's why even after fighting in this battlefield, Arjuna did not get any reaction and he immediately got liberated. That Krishna will explain in the coming chapters. Uh, So this is a fact. So similarly, we need not to change our situation. If you are a student, you remain a student. If you are a job working person, you work. If you are a grahastha householder, you remain a householder. You remain with your family members, you serve them, you perform your duties. But become you can remain like this, but you can also become aloof from that simply by bringing Krishna in your life. If you bring Krishna in your life, you become constant companion of Krishna. Then by Krishna's presence, Krishna's association is so powerful that it will purify your consciousness from all kinds of lusty and nasty desires. And in this way, you can also become Gudakesh. It's very much possible. Uh, and in both in a literal sense also, Gudakesh literally means to one who can conquer sleep, and secondly, one who can overcome this ignorance or darkness, ignorance that I am this material body, the greatest kind of ignorance. Previous class we discussed. The greatest kind of ignorance or illusion is that to think that I am this material body, and to think that anything connected, related with this material body is mine. Ahamta and mamata is the greatest kind of ignorance. One can easily overcome this ignorance by taking shelter of Krishna's holy name. That's why in almost every lecture I am focusing on this point and requesting everyone, all of you, that you please chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The more you chant, the more attentively you will chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So the more you will become free from ignorance, ajnanata, the more you can conquer over your sleep also. Sleep is the greatest obstacle, especially youth in colleges and schools. We see in colleges especially the youth, those who are living in hostels, practically most of the youth, they are just sleeping in the hostel. They do nothing, no studies. I'm talking about the very reputed college like IITs and NITs also. It happens. I myself, I have seen many students. They don't even attend their classes. They bunk their classes and they just sleep in the night, in the daytime, in the morning. There is no Brahmurt for them. Uh, there was one student in IIT Mumbai, one devotee, he told me that that devotee, he used to go there for preaching. So there was one student in IIT Mumbai. So Monday to Friday, there are classes, and Saturday, Sunday is holiday. So Friday, after coming from the classes, Friday evening he went to bed for sleeping, and directly he got up on Sunday. Just imagine, the entire Saturday was completely missed from his life. He did not see Saturday. Just imagine. This is amazing. Huh? Can anybody sleep more than 36 hours? Yes, it's possible. Ignorance is so powerful. Uh, but those who become Krishna's devotees, we have seen, we have experienced this in our colleges also. When we preached, some of the students they took this Krishna consciousness seriously. So all those students earlier who in the hostel, though they were sleeping for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours continuously. When they shifted in our center near college and they started practicing Krishna consciousness, even if they used to sleep by 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock sometimes because of exams and studies. Still, they used to get up by 4 o'clock in the morning for completing their chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this is very. I have personally experienced about this. Because of my health issues, uh, I used to sleep a lot. And doctors, even now also doctor, they recommend me that you should sleep at least 8 hours in the night and 1 2 hours in the daytime. So in 2016, 15, I think, 14 or 15, I had a serious health problem. So I visited Pune, one Ayurvedic doctor, a very nice doctor. He did Panchakarma treatment. So he recommended me that your body, because of your this problem of nose, you cannot have breathing, nice breathing. So your body needs at least 10 to 12 hours of sleep. Uh, that he recommended. Even now they recommend. But I can frankly tell, and this is not no qualification. I have no qualification, but simply because I'm engaged very nicely by mercy of Srila Prabhupada in service of Lord Krishna, Sri Gaur Nitai. So I sleep only 5 to 6 hours every day, not more than that. And sometimes even that is also not when sometimes I go out 3 4 hours 5 hours also. So although sometimes the body becomes very tired, but still there is enthusiasm, and I'm myself amazed completely that I used to sleep a lot. That was a requirement of my body, 8 to 10 hours. But as soon as I started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, I started living with devotees and started practicing Krishna consciousness, became serious about it. So gradually my sleep also reduced. Uh, Even it came up to 6 hours, 5 6 7 hours. So it is possible. And so then you can save so much time, 3 4 hours. If you can save 3 4 hours uh, from sleep. And not only this, when one who is not a devotee, he wastes his time 2 3 hours in unnecessary mobile chatting, WhatsApp, YouTube, social media, and then 1 2 hours, 2 3 hours in unnecessary gossiping with his friend circles, and 3 4 hours unnecessary wasting time in sleeping. So approximately, I'm talking about those college students who live in the hostels. So practically on an average, a student he wastes around 6 hours every day. 5 to 7 hours every day he wastes in just nonsense thing, in just material things, no useful, if not even for material success, or what to speak of spiritual success. Suppose, so that's just imagine if you become serious in practicing Krishna consciousness, you can save your 5 to 7 hours of time every day, and out of that you just engage 2 hours in chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 rounds and attending some classes, and rest of the time you can focus very nicely on your studies. And if you practice very nicely Krishna consciousness, your mind will become purified. You will not have so much distraction about other things, all nasty sinful activities. So you can focus very well on your studies also. So the same studies, and we have experienced this also in our college. Those students who were devotees, who were chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 rounds every day, so they used to study only for even for 2 to 3 hours. They used to prepare much better, in a much better way than a student who is not a devotee, who is engaged in all kinds of nasty thing. He, even if he works, if he studies for 5 to 6 hours, the efficiency of a devotee student is much better than the efficiency of ordinary student. That is also practical, that is also fact. And I have personally experienced this also in my college life. When I started chanting 16 rounds from second year onward, second, third, fourth year onward, I used to go to college, and evening I used to come, and then again I used to go to hostels to meet junior students and to teach them Bhagavad Gita. So practically I was just studying half an hour, 1 hour on an average every day. And when exams used to come, then only I used to study 2 3 hours a day. But every day, without fail, I used to chant 16 rounds of Mahamantra. Even during my exam times, I always chant in 16 rounds of Mahamantra every day, without fail. And just see, the result was also very nice. I easily got 7.58 pointer. Easily got it without difficulty, no difficulty, and easily got campus placement also, no problem. And many other devotees also, all the devotees, they nicely get placed, they nicely get they get good marks, and they along with they develop good character, nice habits. Every day morning they get up and they follow very hygienic principles, healthy lifestyle. Such a wonderful. So if one becomes Krishna conscious devotee, so overall development is there, materially, spiritually, morally, emotionally, intellectually, mentally, in all the ways, he becomes perfect, very powerful. So that's why it's a request. So its time is over. So I'll request all of you to take it seriously. Please come to these classes every day. Don't miss it. You will, as we progress in this course, Bhagavad Gita, Manual of Life, you will attain great things, great knowledge by which you can become very nice devotee, very nice student, very nice means all of you, most of you are students, so you can become very nice student. You can prepare very nicely. You'll save yourself from getting unnecessary, getting entangled into nonsense things which happens in the colleges. So in this way, you can progress very nicely. Okay. So chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra as much as you can chant, and try to uh, come to the platform of chanting 16 rounds every day. If some of you, if any one of you, if you can chant 16 rounds every day without fail, so guaranteed you can write, you can take it in writing from me that you will never become unsuccessful in your material life also. That's not possible. The only thing in the beginning, you need a little training or little guidance. In the beginning, it will be little struggle. It may happen because we are not habituated to chant 16 rounds. We are not habituated to rise early in the morning. But if you practice, if you're determined over the period of time, you can develop these habits, and this will greatly help you to go ahead in the this purpose of life. Okay, so thank you very much. We stop. If there are any questions, you can ask. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Jitesh, bro.
Uh,
Pranam.
so I have a situation in mind. Was there, a brahmachari or someone who wanted to get married, and then that person was only seeing prostitutes around?
I didn't understand.
अ,
आप फिर
यानी
से
प्रभु जी
पूछिए.
कोई मतलब बहुत पहले, जैसे हरिदास ठाकुर जी के टाइम में ऐसे कोई थे जो मतलब भगवान के भक्त तो थे, बट शादी करने का सोच रहे थे, बट बुरे लोग ही उनको मिल रहे थे, या जैसे प्रोस्टिट्यूट्स होते हैं आज के टाइम, अगर देखा जाए, ये थोड़ा टाइम मिक्स ऐसा सोचा जाए कि कोई ब्रह्मचारी है या कोई साधु किस्म का इंसान है, और आसपास में सारे प्रोस्टिट्यूट्स है।
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. There
हम्म,
are many nice
हम्म,
devotee boys, and there are
हम्म,
many nice devotee girls also. So that's why in our community, in Krishna conscious
हम्म,
community, we encourage devotees who desire to get married. So we encourage
हम्म,
them to get married to a devotee girl or devotee boy.
okay,
So there are
right,
still,
right,
but
okay,
those who are non-devotees, they are generally, they cannot follow the principles properly because
okay.
of the degraded fallen age of this yoga. That is
एंड
not
प्रभु
their
जी,
fault. I have already mentioned this is not
तो
their fault. We cannot blame them.
हाँ,
Actually, teachers, parents, and the leaders of the society, they should be
हाँ।
blamed.
प्रभु जी, आपके प्रवचन ना पूरे मंदिर में ऐसे गूंजने चाहिए, तब तब मजा आएगा।
So,
हरे
ऑनलाइन भी
कृष्णा
गुजा
प्रभु जी।
सकते हैं आप.
एक
यू
मिनट,
हेल्प टू कनेक्ट many other students. That's why
हाँ,
we request all of you to bring
हाँ,
connect many more students from your friend circle, colleges, wherever you can reach out.
uh,
and let them have the opportunity to understand this very nice knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. It's given by Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. So definitely it is going to help everyone.
मैं इसलिए
So
कह
you
रहा हूँ
can
क्योंकि
help.
यहाँ पर हम सिर्फ 20 लोग सुन रहे हैं प्रभु जी। आपका ऑडिटोरियम में अगर प्रवचन होगा या पूरे मंदिर में सब सुनेंगे तो।
नहीं नहीं, मंदिर में तो ऑलरेडी हो रहा है, कई सीनियर भक्त हैं वो देते हैं, करते हैं। बट वी वांट टू रीच आउट टू सो मेनी पीपल, जहाँ पे अभी जो लोग मंदिर नहीं आ सकते हैं, अभी ऑनलाइन इसलिए हम लोग कर रहे हैं। आप में से कई लोग कॉलेज में पढ़ते हैं, तो आपके कॉलेज के स्टूडेंट्स को आप जोड़िए, इनकरेज करिए, धीरे धीरे उनको लेके आइए क्लासेस में। जो लोग जॉब करते हैं तो यू कनेक्ट पीपल फ्रॉम देयर। सो ऑफ कोर्स इट्स नॉट सो इजी थिंग इफ you will try to connect 50 students, 50 people. So out of
ठीक।
50, one or two may get interested to connect, but still that is beneficial. Huh? Suppose if you preach to 50 people, 100 people, even if one person becomes serious in practicing Krishna consciousness, that is a great success. That is a great contribution from your side. You saved at least one life. So we should always be encouraged to connect others.
हरे
Okay.
कृष्ण प्रभु जी। आई
Hare
ज्वाइन दी
Krishna.
अदर टॉक, अदर ग्रुप टॉक नाउ।
Yes,
धन्यवाद,
yes.
प्रणाम टू
Okay,
यू।
okay. Hare Krishna.
धन्यवाद।
Yes, Ankita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Guruji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhu,
Hare.
there's a practical question like other member of the family come late at home and so that the sleeping early is not possible. The routine is not able to possible to make like get up early, sleep early wala. So how to manage that? Even though wanted by soul like get up early, 4:30, 5:30.
So difficult. It's very difficult. You can you can try to convince your other family members so that they may also gradually come to this standard. It may not be possible so easily. It may take time, but you try. You pray to Krishna so that some arrangement can be done. Because until unless in the beginning stages, until unless we sleep early, we cannot get up early. Because we our body requires at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep in the night. Then only 1 or 2 days it's okay. If even if you sleep for 3 4 hours, you can extend for next 1 or 2 days. But regularly, if you want, you have to make the habit to sleep by 10:30, 11 o'clock at least. But ideally, one should sleep by 9:30, 10 o'clock. In our brahmachari ashram, all the devotees they go to sleep by before 10 p.m. Uh, Perhaps only two, three devotees like me are only exception, but uh, and then only they are able to get up by 4 o'clock. So that applies to you also, everyone. Those our grahastha devotees, they also follow these things. They also sleep by 10 o'clock, 10:30 maximum, and then they are able to get up by 4 o'clock. So you try, Krishna will help you. Okay, so time
Please
is
pray
up.
for us, Prabhuji. Pray
Okay,
for us. Hare
I will
Krishna.
surely pray for you.